everyone. So this is my first video. I haven't yet figured out how to upload this to YouTube, but I thought for my first video I'm going to do something that's in my comfort zone, because I was thinking about what I could do, but I'm a bit hesitant to do anything with plant facts or anything like that, just in case I am incorrect. So, and to see if I enjoy YouTube. So I thought I would show you what I have got propagating at the moment, what I am plant rescuing at the moment, and so, well, in that I've got some admittances of my plant deaths. So let's get into it, I guess. First of all, I've got my water plant propagation station. I actually got this from Wish, and it was like, I think £7 or something. It took a little while to arrive, but it does the job, and it's quite cute and Instagram worthy, I suppose. So I've got a lot of plants jumbled in here, so I'll bring this closer. So here in this first one we've got some Tradescantia leaves. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me move this one out the way. So we've got some Tradescantia leaves. I've got a Tradescantia that has been suffering for a long time. When I first bought it, it was like for £2 or something, but it was really etiolated, so it stretched towards the light a lot. Just whacking my plants over here. Yeah, so it was like long, leggy growth. So I've been strategically chopping it down without killing kind of the mother plant, and just putting the cuttings back into the plant pots. I can't do my words today. So yeah, that's why I'm propagating them, and they're so easy to propagate. Like, I mean, some of them I've just literally stuck straight into the soil because they will grow roots and they'll be fine, but these ones I have put into water because I quite like to watch the roots grow. In this I also have one Peperomia polybotria. Let me just show you closer. I have a big mother plant of this, but basically I took one of these leaves to the Oxford plant swap, and my mum came along and she was like, "How can you give that away? I want it." So I was like, "It's fine, I'll just propagate you another one." So that is propagating for my mum. In the middle one, sorry, I'm not used to doing the camera levels. In the next one I have got a Ludicea discolor, which is also known as jewel orchid. This is just a cutting that, well, I think it's actually a rhizome or a bulb. I don't actually know whether they are rhizomatous. I'm not sure how you say that word, or whether they grow from bulbs, but whatever one it is, I've got one of those and it's propagating, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it has got some roots. How can I do this? Like here. And some of the roots are growing and poking out the bottom, so that was a fail. My phone is currently propped up and I have just knocked it off, but that's fine. Professionalism is not my jam, shall we say. Also, in this same propagation pot thing, I have a Hoya no, it's not the pubic calyx. I think this is actually just a Hoya carnosa, but not the variegated kind. It does have a couple of tiny splashes. If I bring that up close, you might be able to see just there. And they're kind of silvery, but I don't think that is true variegation. I'm not really sure. That one I got from the Oxford plant swap, which is really awesome, so I'm just waiting for it to root and then I will plant it up, which is exciting. Then in this final one I have, okay, first of all is this very sad crispy leaf. It was a Alocasia say Lutabacanura, but I know that's not right. I can't think what the name is, but I will put it in the description if I figure that out. But basically I bought it off of eBay and it was extremely unhappy once it came into my flat. As with all alocasias, I don't know why, as a genus, they just do not like my environment. But this one, it does seem to be growing like a little bit of roots out of its bulb. Again, I'm not really sure. Is it corms? I think they grow from corms. I'm not totally sure. I need to research more before I just sit down and do a video. That is one thing I've learned from today's experience. So yeah, well, I'm just going to see what happens with it. When I first got it it came from eBay. All the other plants came really healthy, so I'm not going to hold it against the seller. It seems to just be alocasias in my flat. But I put it into some soil because it was fully rooted and it had been in soil before, but it just, I think, went into complete shock, lost four of its leaves, and this last one is obviously on its last legs. So I put it into water, cut off the dying leaves and left it with just one. So fingers crossed for that. Then I also have a philodendron micans, yeah, that's right, cutting. Firstly, so I got a micans plant probably about 2 weeks ago now. It doesn't look that healthy. I'm looking at it now. It doesn't look that healthy. It's not like dying or anything. It's just looks a little bit sad. So I thought, first of all, just to like make sure I still have it if that one suffers, then I am going to propagate some. And secondly, hopefully I can just put some into the soil and try and fill it out, make it look a bit less leggy, because it's currently, I can't really reach it from here, but it's looking very leggy. And finally I have, I don't know if you can see that there, it's a Dischidia avata, I think it is. Basically it's the watermelon Dischidia, or string of watermelons, or I think it's called, as its common name. I have a rooted cutting of this that I got from eBay probably about 5 months ago, and it has not grown. I have seen it's barely like had any like death on it. Is that really the right way of saying that? It's not really shown any signs of struggling, but it hasn't grown. So I've just kind of got to that point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna propagate it and just see if I can do it better with another one, but we shall see what happens with those. Then just really quickly to recent plant rescues that I got from Wilko's. I can't remember what this one's called, but I need to remember where the camera is on here, but he's basically a really cute little fern, I think, but he was practically all dead because it's Wilko, and I got this for 50p. It had a lot more foliage on it, but it was all dead, so I cut it off and I've just stuck it in a little pot, and it's near my grow light, and we'll see what happens. I also got this Ficus pumila, I think it is. Believe it or not, I got this for 5p from Wilko's. It's just, it wasn't really happy. There was a lot of dead foliage on it in Wilko's, which I can only assume is why they gave it to me for 5p, but I was like, there's definitely some aliveness in here, so I'm not sure if I will be able to keep this alive, but I feel like it was destined for death anyway, so we shall see. Again, it's just in normal potting soil, and it's sitting near to my grow light, which if I move that way is right there. Then I also have this cutting of a Scindapsus pictus. It's not the happiest. I've had this for now nearly 9 months, and it didn't have any roots when I got it, so it took a long time to grow, like a couple of roots, and then I put it in some soil and it was okay, but it hasn't grown. it's starting to show like one new leaf. I don't know if you can see this just there. That's not going to focus, is it? But hopefully, fingers crossed, it will grow, because it's been very sad looking for a while. Interestingly, I did have it in terracotta and it seemed to really struggle in the terracotta, and as soon as I've moved it to a plastic pot, it seems to be okay. So I don't know whether that's normal or not, but yeah. And then we also have this little guy, which is a Peperomia rotundifolia with a leaf falling off. That's okay, it's just one of the original leaves. So basically, one of my friends from work gave me this super cute little plant, and it had like 3 leaves left. It was suffering a lot, and she gave it to me to kind of look after it, and it has finally started sprouting new growth, and I'm so excited. I've been sending her pictures and everything, so it is doing well. What else can I show you? I've just got 3 more things to show you. I'm just totally going to fall off, but basically I'm propagating some African violet, some St. Paulia. This is something that I dislike, is plastic cups. These ones are recyclable, but still doesn't really justify them in my head. But anyway, they make really good propagation kind of greenhouses, particularly for anything that needs kind of a humid atmosphere to get going. So I've got these little cuttings of African violets, St. Paulias, and these just keep the humidity high. There's like a little tent. It's quite cute. They are looking a bit dead, but that might be because I accidentally knocked them over and now they've got soil all over them. So they're not dead, I can assure you. And these are just living under my grow light, under the little tent, as it were. So I'll pop that back on. That seems to really work. So you just give them a good like spray of filtered water every now and again, and the plastic cups keep the humidity high and the warmth high as well. So that's really good. And finally, anyone following me on Instagram will know that I had a severe crisis last, I think it might be November. My beautiful Ficus elastica, it was variegated rubber plant, went extremely downhill in a very short space of time. I think basically my flat got too wet, not wet, cold, and I made the plant too wet because I wasn't sure why it was suffering, and so I watered it more, and then it wasn't able to use that water, so I think it basically got root rot, and the lower, I want to say 7 leaves fell off, and it left me with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 6 remaining leaves. So in a bit of a crisis, I chopped up the entire plant, left a leaf node on each, and they are finally growing. So you can see I've got these lovely little leaves here, and each of these has got a growth tip and a leaf. This one's growing really wonky, I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, so they're doing well, and hopefully once it's kind of got an established growth pattern, I can maybe cut off the giant leaves. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Actually, the person who gave me advice on this, who's really helpful, is I think his name is that_one_plant_guy, so that one plant guy, on Instagram, and he's so helpful, and just gave me like endless advice about it. And so I have managed to propagate my Ficus elastica, and the nice thing is now I can give this to other people, and other people have bits of my rubber plant. I gave one to my friend for her birthday today, and she loved it. So yeah, that is all of my propagation projects for now. I'm just going to grab my tea before it goes cold. So yeah, I just thought this is maybe a nice place to start, a little bit low pressure, so I'm not panicking too much. But yeah, I've been sort of brainstorming some video ideas, so hopefully I can get going with those now that I've broken the ice, as it were, and done the first video. So let me know what you're propagating at the moment, because I would love to hear and see any pictures. Tag me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is besotted with the potted. I will link it below in the description. And yeah, I will hopefully see you next time if I don't chicken out. Thanks for watching.